Hi everyone, welcome to Rashi Things. Previously, we have uploaded videos related to cooking mostly. So, today I am here to talk about my channel's first technical discussion related to core Java interview questions, which are frequently asked by the most of the organizations. So, I prepared first set of questions, which consist of 20 questions. Let us go through them one by one. Here, first question is what are the features of Java? Let's go through them one by one. First feature is simple. Simple here meaning is Java's syntax is very simple. No pointers, no multiple inheritance with the classes, which causes ambiguity error. For almost every task, application programming interface is available. Programmer just need to know how to use that particular API. The second feature, object oriented. Java is strong object oriented as it does not allow features like global data, friend function, which are against object oriented programming principles. The third feature here is automatic garbage collection. Automatic garbage collection is the process of looking at heap memory, identifying which objects are in use and which are not, and deleting the unused objects. The fourth feature here is platform independent. The Java program, whenever it is compiled, it is converted into bytecode. So this bytecode is platform independent. Next question. What is the difference between JDK and JRE? JDK stands for Java Development Kit. It contains JRE plus development tools like compiler, debugger, etc. JRE stands for Java Runtime Environment, which contains JVM plus jars and DLLs. Next question. What is JVM? JVM stands for Java Virtual Machine, which is used to run the Java bytecodes. Next question. Explain the types of class loaders in Java. There are three class loaders available in Java. First one is Bootstrap, next one is Extension, and last one is System Class Loader. Next question is explain Java memory model, or we can say JVM memory model. It's physically divided into two parts, young generation and old generation. Young generation is a place where all the new objects are created. When the young generation is filled, garbage collection is performed. This garbage collection is called as minor GC. And further, young generation is divided into three parts, hidden memory and two survivor memory spaces. Most of the newly created objects are located in the hidden memory space. When hidden space is filled with object, minor GC is performed and all the survivor objects are moved to one of the survivor spaces. Minor GC also checks the survivor objects and move them to other survivor space. So at a time, one of the survivor space is always empty. The second part is old generation. Old generation memory contains the objects that are long lived and survived after many rounds of minor GC. Usually, garbage collection is performed in old generation memory when it's full. Old generation garbage collection is called as major GC and usually it takes longer time. Next question. What is garbage collection? Garbage collection is a way to destroy the unused objects. Next question. Explain four pillars of OOPS. Basically, in OOPS, we have four pillars like abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. If interviewer asks this question, please try to answer with real-time examples. Next question is, what is the difference between final, finally, and finalize? Final is a keyword, finally is a block, finalize is a method. Final keyword is used to apply restrictions on class, method, and variable. Final class can't be inherited, final method can't be overridden, and final variable value can't be changed. The finally block is used to place important code. It will be executed whether exception is handled or not. Next is like finalize method, which is used to perform cleanup processing just before object is garbage collected. Next question. Explain system.out.println. Here, system is a class, out is an instance of printstream type, and println is a method of printstream class. Next question. Explain public static void main string args. Public is an access modifier. JVM can invoke it from outside the class. Next is static is a keyword. JVM can invoke it without instantiating the class. Next is void. Void is a keyword which is used to specify that a method doesn't return anything. The main next point is main. It is the name of the Java main method. It is the identifier that the JVM looks for as a starting point of the Java program. It is not a keyword. Next is string array. It stores the Java command line arguments and is an array of type string class. Next question. Difference between abstract class and interface. Abstract class doesn't support multiple inheritance where interface supports multiple inheritance. Next difference. Abstract class can have final, non-final, static and non-static variables. But in case of interface, which has only static and final variables. The last one, abstract class can have constructors and interface cannot have constructors. Next question. Explain this versus super. This keyword mainly represents the current instance of a class. On the other hand, super keyword represents the current instance of parent class. Next difference. This keyword is used to call default constructor of the same class, and the super keyword is used to call default constructor of the parent class. Next question. What is the difference between double equal to operator and equals method? Double equal to operator is used for reference comparison, where equals method is used for content comparison. Next question. What is autoboxing and unboxing? Autoboxing is converting a primitive value into an object of the corresponding wrapper class. For example, converting int to integer class. On the other side, unboxing meaning converting an object of a wrapper type to its corresponding primitive value. For example, conversion of integer to int. Next question. What is immutability and how to make a class as an immutable? Immutable class means that once an object is created, we cannot change its content. All wrapper classes in Java like integer, boolean are immutable. To create a class as immutable, we have following requirements. Like first one, the class must be declared as final so that child classes can't be created. Second point, data members in the class must be declared as private so that direct access is not allowed. Third point, data members in the class must be declared as final so that we can't change the value of it after object creation. Fourth point, a parameterized constructor should initialize all the fields performing a deep copy so that data members can't be modified with object reference. Fifth point here is deep copy of objects should be performed in the getAs method to return a copy rather than returning the actual object reference. The last point, no setters. Do not have the option to change the value of the instance variable. Next question is difference between string buffer and string builder. First difference, string buffer operations are thread safe and synchronized. On the other side, string builder operations are not thread safe and not synchronized. String buffer is to use when multiple threads are working on the same string. String builder is used in a single threaded environment. The last difference, string buffer performance is slower when compared to string builder. On the other side, string builder performance is faster when compared to string buffer. Next question, hierarchy in exception handling. The first class here is object as a parent. After that we have throwable class. After that we have under exceptions and error. Here we have two types of exceptions. One is checked exception and another one is runtime exception. The examples of checked exceptions are IO exception or SQL exception. Examples of runtime exception are null pointer exception or array index out of bound exception. And we have error also. The example of error is out of memory or stack overflow error. Next question, explain try with resources or we can say ARM, automatic resource management. The try with resource statement is a try statement that declares one or more resources The try with resource statement ensures that each resource is closed at the end of the statement execution. You can pass any object that implements java.lang.autoclosable, which includes all objects which implement java.i.closable interface. Next question. Difference between throw and throws. Throw keyword is used to explicitly throw an exception. On the other side, throws keyword is used to declare an exception. Second one, throw is followed by an instance. Throws is followed by a class. Third difference, throw is used within a method. Throws is used with the method signature. The last difference, you cannot throw multiple exceptions. You can declare multiple exceptions. The final question, explain covariant return types. The covariant return type specifies that the return type may vary in the same direction as a subclass. For example, we can say if we have two classes, class A and class B. The class B extends class A. For example, if we have some driver class, like we can say we are overriding a method. Okay, so if you're having method name called like fun, and the return type in the parent class we have as a class A, and the return type of the child method as a class B. So here we can say the return type will be same or subtype of parent. That's all from this video. Please support for more technical videos. If you have any doubt, please add your comment in comment section. Please click on bell icon to receive latest notifications from Rashi Things.